Alrighty, test, test, test. D, go ahead and let's hear your beautiful voice. Test real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, race night. Grab a cold one, open up some snacks, sit back, relax, and watch some wild three wide racing.
And you heard the man first. First off, welcome everybody. This is going to be the third recruitment race of the Troy's Auto Detailing and Williams Sealcoating 360 Sprints. Looks like they're in their qualifying session as of right now. Of course, you're going to have me, Justin, as always. And we got, of course, my right-hand man with me. You may know him in the Discord as Vitamin D, otherwise known as Just a D, otherwise known as Vitamin D, Scruggle McBungus. I'm not going to say the few other names because they might not be PG-13 friendly.
He said
Um,
vitamin D twice because I bring that sunshine, baby. I'm in the booth with Mr. Justin Hart tonight. We're here for some good old racing, some recruitment racing. I'm hoping to see some crashes tonight. Ty Williams
Not too
got in a
many.
little bit of hot water after one of his last races. He's in a little bit of trouble. We can't talk about what's going on. But he's in a little bit of trouble.
He's in the doghouse, as they say. He's in the doghouse. But let's go over our standings real quick. I'll go ahead and hit our top five, and I'll let D smack the. Oh, never mind. Our first heat's already up. We took too long. So, not a big deal. We'll go straight into the heats. As always, I am using sim racing apps, so unfortunately, until the cars exactly hit the track, I unfortunately can't really see them or edit them. So, give me 1 second. It looks like they're all coming up right now for me.
I can't see nothing on the track down there, Justin.
Well, unfortunately, not everybody has their actual numbers they should be using.
We got to get that figured out, man.
Why?
I need cars on the track
Hang,
all the time.
hang on. We gotta. Oh, I know the issue. Okay, I think I've kind of got it figured out. I apologize there. Looks like I am still getting used to using my race telemetry settings so I could actually jump to all the cars and stuff like that while actually not bringing up iRacing scale as a whole. I thought I had more kind of settings behind it for the broadcast, but it looks like I do not, so we'll go ahead and go through it the best I can. Looks like on that front row here, inside pole, we're going to have Stephen Perkins. Stephen Perkins is a previous league driver we've had, I believe, for at least 2 seasons now. He's gotten wins with us, I believe, in multiple seasons as well, so I look for a strong showing out of him. Ty Williams looks like he's going to be that outside pole in that pink Breast Cancer Awareness Month car representing 3PG Speed Shop. That third place car, I believe that is Drew Junkman, and it looks like it's some kind of variation of the Rusty's Lightning McQueen car. I don't know if you can see that car, D, but
Ciao.
yeah, that's how I feel. Ka-chow. I think he's going to bring some thunder. He'll bring some lightning this race, but hopefully he don't have to deal with any thunder, as we're going to see by potentially Charles New III, our other 3PG driver here in the Chrome 3PG Speed Shop car. Charles has always been pretty fast as well. I would say Charles is somebody who, when everything goes just right, you're going to really see him in the front and really not just leading the race, but starting to make some moves. That kid's got better and better every week, and I'd put him up there with Ty and the rest of them. And then, of course, we're going to have wrapping up the field. Looks like that is going to be, as I wait for it to come up, the 14 car. I believe that is Bryce Sheed. Go ahead and get back to our leaders. I apologize, guys. Like I said, I'm still getting used to the streaming setup. For whatever reason, every time I change a view, it goes to TV mix. So that is a little annoying. But it is what it is. Any early predictions, D?
I really want to see something out of Jonkman, the Jonk, as we call him over here.
The
He's
Lightning,
the number 21 car, the Rusty's sponsor.
the Lightning McQueen car.
I'm wanting to see something out of them, but of course, you can't doubt the 3PG racers and their ability to be aggressive on any track that they're on. They'll go for it. They will just take that shot.
I'm hoping tonight's going to be the
Starts
night.
are
I
in
feel like
start
we
of
haven't
4
seen
and
the,
exit of 4, anywhere between green and the start of 4 on leader.
well, that looks like it's going to be our race control, Max Bender helping out with our other race control, Troy Hart. I thought I had their chats muted, but I'll go ahead and change that as they go through. But we're going green flag racing this time by as Steven leads him on the inside going in the 1. Looks like Drew Junkman, your boy D, is trying to take that second spot. Him and D touch and they wreck. Oh no! Let's go back and take another look at that one. Whew. Oh, he's missing a tire. He's on a tricycle. He's on a tricycle. So.
Look like a lineman, 3 points of contact.
Oh, sorry. I'm still getting used to these controls. There's like a slow-mo cam I can do. Yeah. So it looks like, I don't know if Ty Williams gets loose on the outside, but he almost does like a tail whip and just...
Right into that wall.
Whew. Very unfortunate. Well, another 3PG driver involved with that. Old Cooter, unfortunately. Let me see if I can get that chat thing. I apologize for everybody who has to hear that. I guess I didn't set something up correctly. Yes, this is my wizard. Yes, I guess I didn't save that. We should be good now. Sorry about that. I know that's not exactly ideal how we want to watch it.
What are you talking about?
So if you'll notice it when we play this back, I had it to where we could hear the people in the session, like Max and all them doing race control. We could hear them making calls. I
didn't even know.
I try to keep everybody out of that if possible, and the reason why that is, some people might not agree with something or something like that, and I don't want to start any unnecessary arguments that we can all talk about after a session.
Some colorful language gets used on the track. That's part of the sport.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we use it all the time. If it wasn't for the fact that YouTube restricted me, I'd use it right now. But these guys are in the safety of their cars.
This dirt track's already looking a little slick here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it looks like they put some work into it in practice. With all of our sessions, they are starting at 0% track state, and they run all the way through, start to finish, no matter how long it takes. It looks like what they're doing right now.
Drew Jonkman in the chat.
I missed it.
What? And is mad at me. Wow.
Yeah, we'll have to review that one a little more. Let's take another look at that, since we got a minute.
Sounds like some beef is stirring.
It potentially could be. It potentially could be. Let's take a look at this from a far chase angle. Here's a good angle right here.
Okay. Looks like Ty hits the wall first, overcorrects his rear end. Yep, knocks Jonkman right into the wall. I don't know if that was intentional.
And here's the thing, I will play it back because there's a lot that can happen before a turn as well. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see how iRacing calls that. But if there's one thing I can say, Drew Junkman is driving a tricycle. That is not a sprint car. But I tell you what, the way he angled himself at that wall, he almost put himself back in the pit lane. That'd have been impressive in itself. Let's go ahead and get caught back up. I'm sorry I have to do this way, boys. It's horrible. I know. Awesome. Should be caught back up. Yeah, usually with our rules for our leagues, we will do, it's either 6 or 7 laps pacing for all cautions, or we'll do a 2-minute timer. We try to give people time to repair their vehicles whenever they get into an accident and their fast repairs are used up. Of course, in these recruitment races, depending on who you get in the race, they can get used up a little quicker than others. I hate to be honest with you. We got to sort through the riffraff, all that, but that's why we are taking so long to pace. Everybody is getting a chance to get their cars repaired. Usually with that rule, if cautions get extremely excessive to the point that we're playing with time on a session, we will cut that rule out if needed at the end of the session for time related reasons. Normally we do at least like a minute and a half per lap, so it never equates to that. But I tell you what, Dave, were you the one that was here with me last week where we almost ran out of time in a session? I think our broadcast was like almost an hour and a half. I think that was you with me. I think you were here. I think it was the modified race. I think that was you with us last week.
Well, I don't remember it.
We were drinking a few,
I don't remember last days.
I think the main issue is we had a lot of race time to drink. So a lot of time to not remember. I think was the main thing.
I only got the one White Claw with me tonight. Otherwise, We're sipping.
Yeah, you
We're
never
nervous.
know what's going on. We'll go ahead and go through the drivers. I can see right now. It looks like we're still going to have Stephen Perkins on the inside pole holding the front line. Looks like that's the Bryce Sheed machine. I know it shows him in 5th for scoring. It's just how Sim Racing Labs does it when you cross the line. I got to wait for the next lap. But that's going to be his car on the outside pole. Looks like Ty Williams, after that whole ordeal, is in 3rd place. Drew Junkman, you know, he's got 4 wheels now, and I highly recommend you have 4 wheels when you're racing. He's going to be back in that 4th spot, and it looks like Charles New is in 5th, so I don't know if that's how iRacing lined it up. I know I run the Pro Late series, and I help out with the other series as well. It could be really goofy getting people in specific spots, so it may have been how iRacing specifically lined them up, but I think we are one to go this time by, and we're about to go racing.
Juiceman, could you turn me up a little bit on the mixer there? I'm real quiet on the stream.
Oh, yeah, my bad. We're still adjusting this slightly. Talk now.
Yeah, a little bit more. A little bit. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
All right there?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll do 0.71. I like 71. It's a cool number. All right. And it looks like they're coming around this time by. Steven's going to take them into the green flag. Starts good. They're going to hold as they go into turn 1. It looks like Steven's going to hold that strong line coming into turn 3 as you see them all come in there. We got 3 wide racing going on behind him, though. Holy crap. Let's take a look at some of that racing for a little bit from Bryce Sheed's point of view. He's going to hold that 2nd place line. That Lightning McQueen car you've been talking about, these in 3rd place. How do you think about Drew right now?
I think Jonkman is absolutely jonking it right now. He's looking clean in these turns. He's riding these lines perfectly here.
Let's go ahead and take a view from
not bad.
what he sees. Let's take a look at the Drew Junkman mobile here in 3rd. Ooh, we're in 3rd. It looks like there's a wreck. We'll have to take a look at him in a minute. It looks like Charles New got caught up in that. Let me go see what the heck happened there.
Newman. Little Seinfeld reference for the crowd.
Ooh, it looks like... Let me slow it down a little bit. Oh, I need to pause, but there we go. I'm learning, boys. So it looks like, if I can see correctly, let me get a far chase. It looks like Ty Williams and Drew get into each other again.
Ty Williams, once again. Once again.
I don't know what happened there. Let's see if we can get kind of a view beforehand.
You know what we should do sometime, Juiceman?
And I don't know. We'll just have to see how they call that, because that's a weird one, because it's one of those where, like, he's following line, but I don't know how much of Drew Junkman he can see on that top line coming down at the same time. I don't know how they're going to call that. That's one of those things where I'm very happy to be a broadcaster nowadays and not having to make that race control call, you know what I mean? I'm sure that'll be an interesting discussion in the Discord tonight.
You gotta wonder what they're saying to each other right now and there. It would be pretty fun to have us in the same channel, and then you can slowly unmute them for the stream for a second.
Oh my god, could you imagine as Drew and Ty touched each other, we just hit like a soundboard, just unmute them both for a second so we can hear what they're saying?
We could do it, or we could just drag them in here to have their conversation as soon as it happens.
How do you guys feel about the contact that just happened in turn 1 and just let them go fully uncensored?
This is going to be some aged beef here.
How long do you think? They had the Ty Williams
between those 2 drivers.
They had the Ty Williams Hayden Harvey beef last year. That was a season-long beef. And the best part about that, and it's kind of like the same with Drew, they're all really good drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ty, I remember Ty and Hayden, they would wreck each other in 1st place. So it looks like they're going 1 to green. Let's go ahead and see him this time by as green flag racing commences. Stephen Perkins is going to lead him this time by. It looks like we're finally at the halfway point of Heat 1. I tell you what, if our feature goes anything like Heat 1D, I hope you don't have any plans tomorrow, because we might have to call off work.
I'm ready to call off work at this point. I don't like my job.
You know, it's alright.
Actually, it feeds me.
It does pay the bills, it does feed you, and food is good. Food is definitely good. Tell you what, I want mine some
Number
food.
17 car is zipping.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it looks like he's going to be paying the dinner bill tonight the way he's been driving. It looks like he's going to have a very strong showing. Very happy to see him back behind the wheel in one of our 3PG leagues again. I've missed seeing him drive. He's been very good, very consistent, and he's been around for about 2 to 3 seasons. I remember, oh, it looks like Drew Junkman. Was that him that got into the wall? He's flipping. Holy crap. Oh my God. Holy crap. We got to have an instant replay.
Oh man, what was that? 10 flips?
I don't know, but we're going slow-mo. Oh my God.
Oh, we're counting them. We're counting them.
All right, we're going to get ready for a flip counter right here, boys.
Right.
I don't think there's any question what brought out the caution, but let's go ahead and get a counter. Drew
Right into the
Junkman gets
wall.
into the wall. I'm assuming
He's
Ty's
riding
hitting
it.
him. Well,
Ty-
it's almost
Ty
like a net
bumps him.
code. We got 1. I'm counting the red car, by the way. It's like a half 360.
That's 2, easily.
2,
3,
3, 4, 5. No!
Oh,
No! We ran out of time
God.
for Heat 1. I'm going to have to come back and make a compilation video for that. What happened there is we set up all our sessions to have a 10-minute limit for all heats. Main reason why is for a situation like this where nobody can really seem to get more than a couple laps straight of green flag racing. We'll go ahead and set that up so we can go ahead and see everybody race. But for now, I need to get to an actual car that's on the track. There we go.
What a fantastic first heat, honestly. I'm having a ton of fun up here in the booth with you, Juiceman.
Oh, it was a blast. I wish we could have counted those flips. I'd tell you, we're going to do that immediately after this race. I may keep the broadcast up for everybody so we can find that and just count it. But how many flips do you think that was? We were at 5, and in my opinion, he was still flipping pretty strongly in the air. I think he was going to get 9.
I'm on the 10. I'll put $5 on 10.
Really?
I'll put $5 on 10 plus.
Whew.
So-
We might have to. I might have to take you up on that. I might have to shake your head, and you'll do the over on 10. I'll do the under.
Yeah.
You know, we got it
Yep.
live here on YouTube. It's we can play it back. We are good to go. But for anybody wondering what's going on now, we're going to go into our second set of heat races. Matt Grimm is going to lead your inside pole. Excuse me. That is going to be Jake Kirby rocking outside pole in this race. And number 5 car is going to be driven by Dalton Bragg. Dalton is a regular in the 3PG scene as well. One of the runners for High Roller Mafia. Very good driver, very good guy as well. I expect him to do well. And this 4th place car, I don't recognize off rip. Waiting to see the number 41. I think that's Dax Barentine, actually. I just had him as 42 on here, so that's going to be the difference there. But Matt Grimm's taking off. It's going to be a clean start, and he's going to lead him into turn 1.
Zipping by right now on this first corner, second corner.
With 4 racers in
Looking
this,
clean.
I think it's going to be a lot cleaner race. But we got a lot of very, very competitive drivers, as we can see by Jack Kirby and Dalton Bragg making moves for second
What a
place.
touch.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this fight we got going on for second. Let's try to do what we did before. I wanted to get a cockpit view, but we can go ahead and take a look at Jack Kirby's mobile and see what he sees as he's trying to take that second place spot.
They are front to back right now.
You think you can do this? You think me and you, D, we could go out in a sprint car and we could do just what they're doing right here?
You give me 3 days.
3
Give me
days,
3 days.
30 case, and a lot of water to water this track because it's going to get slick.
We're gonna need 30 case per day. I'm telling you what.
And we could probably wreck like they did in the first heat because this is
Yeah,
some really
that's-
good racing. They actually got 4 consecutive clean green flag laps. Jake Kirby is running a very consistent time right now, holding that second place spot. He's about 2/10 of a second ahead of Dalton Bragg. We'll take a look at what Dalton can see right here as he's right behind them in the cockpit view as well.
I take third. We're second.
And I mean, he's right there. You got Jake Kirby right there in front of him. And the best part is, it's not just that.
Oh, he's
Dax,
got the inside.
you got Dax behind him as well. And they're pretty much, you know, back to back to back, about 3 to 4 tenths separated from each other. There's a lot of good racing going on here, but let's not forget about our leader here, Matt Grimm, as he goes ahead and takes it into the halfway point here. A very strong showing so far, about 2 seconds ahead of the field. What do you think of Matt so far today, D?
I think Matt's looking clean. Those turns are looking great. I always find that people in the front are riding on the upper lip, like they're riding those sweet spots. He's got great track sense.
And the thing about riding the upper lip like that, you're carrying a lot of speed, and depending on, you know, the track, you may not even have to let off at all. A lot of those guys are flat-footing it or barely letting off the pedal, pretty much flat-footing it around them corners.
Are you calling all the
Oh, we
racers
got a caution in the
flat-footed?
back, it looks like. Oh, let's go back and take a look at that one. I was calling a lot of the racers kind of flat-footed. It was a
Would you call them
it was a minor dig.
flat-footed rednecks?
No. Just the ones that live by us. You know, like me.
That's right.
Like me. It takes a redneck to know a redneck. But we're going to go ahead and take a look. It looks like this is Jake Kirby with Dalton Bragg on the inside line. We're going to get a slow-mo view, kind of see what happened here. Jake Kirby's going to take that outside line, kind of dive down a little bit. Dalton gets in front of him, and I don't know if Dalton got loose, Jake went in too quick, or what specifically, because I am going at half speed, but looks like that's what ended up causing the caution, as those two got together into turn 3. So we'll go ahead and let race control make the call on that one specifically. Let me go ahead and get caught back up to our leader, Mr. Grimm. I tell you what, looking at 3 laps to go, D. Matt Grimm has led start to finish. Jake Kirby and Dalton Bragg has been battling back to back, but I believe one of those cars is in the pit. Who do you think is going to get the top 3 here, D? I think we all can agree on the winner.
I want to see a Kirby comeback.
You think Kirby's going to come for Matt?
I want to see a Kirby comeback, dude.
He's sitting there in second, it looks like, ready to go. I think I see all 4 cars on the track now. As long as you are able to get to your pit, there are fast repairs. I believe that for our normal league, there are 1, but they've bumped it up to 2 fast repairs for the recruitment races to help give everybody a chance as well. But it looks like they're getting ready to line up to go 1 to green. I believe without this many people, it is going to go single file, but we'll see here in just a second.
Single file, single file.
I tell you what, that's straighter in my future.
Single file, slow start here. Here we go.
I
1
say
to
that,
green.
and they go like in a 2x2 line completely out of
You're
formation.
ripping it.
But we're going
They're
green
ripping
flag this time by with Matt Grimm with the lead.
Matt Grimm gunning it into that first corner.
And he's going to hold it on that top lip like you were talking about earlier, carrying the speed in the 3 and 4. He's already got looks like Race Apps is registering a 5-second lead. I don't fully believe it. I think it's more like that half second like it just displayed, but that is still very impressive to do in a lap. Looks like we're white flag this time by with the 1 to go sign right now. Matt Grimm's going to take him into turn 4. And your winner, Matt Grimm, with Jake Kirby in second. Dax Barentime is going to take that 3rd place spot, and Dalton Bragg is going to round out your field in 4th. I'll tell you what, not a bad series of heats. I don't know if we got one more heat or not. Nope, it looks like it's going to go straight into the feature. I believe no warm-up. They're just going straight into it.
Very clean second heat. Love to see that as well, as much as I love to see the action and the carnage.
There we go. So, on the plus side, when the feature lineups, I can at least announce who it's going to be where specifically. D, can you see the standings up here pretty well?
I got Steven Perkins in first, followed by Matt Grimm, Bryce Shade, Jake Kirby, Ty Williams, Dax Barentine, Drew Jonkman, the Jonk, Dalton Bragg, Charles New III, Steven Fernberg, Max Bender, and of course Justin Hart 6 and 5.
And I tell you what, I bet you Justin Hart 5 is going to get last place. I bet a lot of money here. Anybody want to bet against me?
He's looking pretty slow here.
For anybody wondering, I
don't
am
know.
Justin Hart 5. I am not on this track. I don't think I'm going to do very well. But I tell you what, I've seen weirder things. If we have a caution fest like that first heat, I might beat somebody. You never know. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Steven Perkins holding that inside pole with Matt Grimm on the outside. And I tell you what, these are 2 cars right here, D, that were very fast, start to finish.
They're very quick. They definitely have a noticeable advantage.
But in that same sentence, I think Ty Williams and Drew Junkman, if they cannot kill each other, I think they're going to be up in that mix as well.
You might jinx it. You might jinx it just by even mentioning it. Ty Williams, hot on the track, hot on his wheel, man. Hot tempered.
And I believe they're going to go 1 to green this time by as we take an inside view of Stephen Perkins on that right front tire. I tell you what, very interesting view. Let's go ahead and see this specifically from Drew Junkman over here. I think he is fourth row outside. I apologize. Or fourth row inside. He was riding an outside line. I just thought he was on the outside.
We should do a charity race where every caution we donate like $5 or something.
That could get really expensive with these. With our normal league races, I would be cool with it because there are not that many cautions. We average about 4 to 5, but with these recruitment races, that could get brutal. But we're green flag racing, baby. Here we go.
7 cars on the track, looking good into this second turn here.
We got Stephen Perkins leading the field into turn 3. Matt Graham's going to be in second place with Bryce Sheed throwing a slider. I don't think it's going to stick. I think Mac's going to hold that second place spot. Is he? Yes, he. Or no, Bryce Sheed takes it from him for a slight second, but he gets loose on that top side. Matt's going to take second, and here comes Ty Williams in fourth place. Looks like fifth place is going to be wrapped up by Dax Barentine. Dalton Bragg and Drew Junkman rounded up 6th and 7th with Jake Kirby. I believe he's off the track. I don't know what happened to him. I got him scoring a lap down.
Shade is attempting to close that time gap of about a half a second.
Yeah, that hitting the wall ain't going to help him too much either. I tell you what, Stephen Perkins has looked consistent, start to finish. We'll take a look at that 17 car up front. That clean air might have something to do with it, but I tell you what, you see Bryce Sheed back there putting everything he has into it, and Steven's just pulling away. This is what Steven can see.
It's like a fun drive for him.
I'm sure he has tear-offs. I don't know if our in-car camera exactly has a tear-off on it, unfortunately. But this is a pretty accurate depiction of what he can see up there. He's using that top line completely. He's using every bit of grip there is up there, every bit of that fresh dirt he can. And I mean, he has got a very commanding lead right now on Bryce and Ty Williams, about a second to a second and a half.
It's growing. It's a whole lap.
Man, I tell you what, it's not the only thing that's a grower. Am I right?
You're right.
Oh. These are things we're supposed to talk about 20 hours into our 24-hour stream, sir. Not 40 minutes.
Oh, that's on you.
As we have Stephen Perkins, it looks like he's going to be holding a commanding lead, going about a second and a half, second and 3/4 as he takes it in the fourth. Bryce Sheed's going to hold second with Matt Grimm in third and Ty Williams in fourth. Let's go take a look at this battle we got going on in the back here. We'll take a view of Matt Grimm, look at that Ty Williams in his rear view mirror, as well as having Bryce in front of him. He's really got his hands full, don't you think?
Absolutely. Ty Williams just sent it for third, maybe? Just sent it for third right here?
He's really trying to make do with that inside
really
line.
trying.
He's going to keep pushing it here. He is coming. And I think he might get it this time. Oh, he's into the wall. They get in the contact. Do they hold it? He's holding a wheelie. Oh, my God. Is he going? Does it hold? I assume, and caution is out. I tell you what, that was some good hard racing, but can we just take a second?
Hard racing.
Can we just take a second to admire this wheelie? Let me go ahead. Where is the Mr. Williams car? This wheelie. Where? Here we go. So it looks like they get together, unfortunately. And it gets Ty a little bumped. And he is holding it right here. Maybe one more bump. I tell you. It looked
still beautiful.
It looked way, way cooler in full view.
Look at it from the front.
I wonder if there's a way I can. Car chase. Yeah, here we go. I mean, it's still a pretty.
Yeah.
It looks a lot better from the front.
That
It's still
looks
a
pretty
pretty
good,
impressive
man.
wheelie. What I'm assuming that caution's going to be, it looks like Ty Williams ends up, him and Matt Grimm end up getting into each other when Ty was trying to execute the pass. I don't know if Ty came up, didn't leave room, or what specifically the case was, because I was too busy admiring this wheelie right here. But let's go ahead and get back to our leaders here as they get ready to go green flag racing.
This has been a very fun night of racing out here at Port Royal Speedway.
Yeah, Port Royal, it's a track that's going to, I believe it is featured in our league lineup. We don't normally run this track too much, and I kind of regret not doing it. It's a very fun track. It's very racy. It's one where I'm really seeing two lines work right now, and I know it's typically a one-line track, but when you don't self-gen and let it run in, I'm watching Ty Williams run that bottom end pretty well, trying to execute some passes there. And I'm also watching Stephen Perkins dominate on that high line. I mean, you can't really say the high line's not working when you're about a second to a second and a half ahead, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, especially when that time just keeps growing the more that you let him ride that upper lip.
Quite literally. I mean, it starts out like a half second, 3/4, a second. I mean, he's got it down. I don't know what he's doing in his sprint car, but we might have to cut off a piece of his tires and send it over to the lab, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, might be driving on that flubber.
Yeah, you know. I think we're getting ready to go 1 to green this time by, as it looks like they get ready to get lined up 2 by 2. We'll go ahead and go over our top 6 real quick as I can see them. Looks like it's going to be Stephen Perkins, as always, in that inside pole. Bryce Shade, it looks like, is going to be second. Excuse me, everybody. Matt Graham's going to be holding that 3rd place line. I believe that is Dalton Bragg in 4th there. It's going to be Drew Junkman in the Rusty's car holding 5th place in the inside line. Jack Kirby, is that it? No, that is Dax Barrentine's car. I apologize. They all kind of blend in with my camera. And then we're going to have Ty Williams rounding out the back with Jake Kirby as they get the racing. I don't know what happened to Jake Kirby. He's been scored with 1 lap down the whole time. I'm going to have to kind of view that back. But we got some great racing going on in the backstretch. And Stephen Perkins leads him in the 4. And it looks like he's going to lead this first green flag lap after the caution.
3 wide on that that first turn right there.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of this racing we got going on behind Stephen. We got a view of Bryce.
The drunk is in the wall.
The drunk is in the wall. Oh no, oh no. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, now he's not a tricycle. Now he's a non-wing sprint car.
He just lost his hat, man.
Quite literally. He became a whole nother class.
Some rolls.
Alright, let's go ahead and let's get a far chase view, and we'll go ahead and get this slow-mo view and kind of see what we got here. Looks like it's going to be Drew Junkman riding the high outside line. I see Ty's car there. Did they make contact again? They touch again! They touch again! They have touched more. They got magnets on their cars.
Wow. Whole lot of contact between Ty Williams and the Jonk tonight.
I got a question to everybody in the chat that's been watching. How many times do you think Drew Junkman's car has flipped tonight? I'm going to go with an over-under of 13 times. Go ahead and give me what you guys think. I'll have to get the video out and we'll play it back later.
I'm saying 15.
It's up there. I mean, that one in itself, I'll have to count it back, but it was like 4 or 5.
Some very exciting racing out here tonight, folks. 3PG racing. There's nothing else like this.
It is a fun time. It's a good time. And for anybody wondering what these guys are racing for, other than a measly $5 first place payout, this is a recruitment race for our 360 divisions, ran by Troy's Auto Detailing and Williams Sealcoating. It is a 12-week season, 8-week regular season, 4-week playoff. There is $500 to win for first for the season payout and over $1,200 total to win in payouts across the board. If you do get invited, let's say you run one of these recruitment races and we decide to invite you to the league, it is a $5 league entry fee per division, but other than that, if you do relatively well in just 1 week, you're going to make that back no problem. Essentially what we do at 3PG is I've always wanted to put the 30 best people, 20 best people on the track and see who's better. Cut the BS, cut the drama, cut all the bull crap, let's figure it out. And that's pretty much what we've done here, and I think we do a pretty good job. Wouldn't you agree?
I think we're pretty fair across the board. Which one of these racers is good old Cooter?
Cooter is he's the chrome car. He was the 21 car, but I don't see him out here. Or not the 21 car. I believe it's the 001 car. But I do not see him out here. Nope, he is not out here. I just clicked his scoring. He is already one of our league drivers, being one of our 3PG drivers itself, Charles New III, as well as Ty Williams. But we'll go ahead and take a look at everybody this time by. Looks like we're 1 lap to green.
We got ourselves another guest in the booth up here. Nikki T.
Chad, I just saw your messages. Sorry, I would have told Max earlier if I saw it before, so if you're in here, I do apologize. But we're going green flag right now with Stephen Perkins taking that inside line for the front. That's a different move I haven't said yet. And we got Wreck-It in the back. Oh my, we're under caution again. Oh my gosh.
What was that crash?
Holy crap.
Oh my goodness.
They're dead.
Oh.
They're dead. They're done for.
Corpses are already lifted off the field, Jack.
Oh, is that our third guest commentator?
Third guest commentator, good old Nikki T.
Oh, is that the base boss guy?
That was a hell of a crash, Cotton. I don't know how he plans on winning with a crash like that, but let's see how it pays off for him.
Listen, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it pays off. I see a lot of people just knocking their wings off tonight. I mean, I understand you're wanting to take that off, get a little bit more speed, but I feel like you need that thing.
Listen, nowadays gaining a competitive edge with the fans is all that it matters, okay? As long as the fans love him, he'll be back in the next race.
I guess that's a true statement if you really think about it in all forms of racing. If you're liked well enough, you'll be back anywhere. That like happens in the pros, that happens everywhere. But yeah, I don't know what everybody's perspective is on this. I see Jake Kirby sending it pretty hard. It looks like Dax gets, you know, down on the inside.
It's
a little
an accident
control.
for sure.
Well, let race control, you know, make that call. They do that, not me. Let's go ahead and get caught back up and see when we're getting ready to go green flag racing. So Nick, I know you are not as big into iRacing, and you have been in Mother Russia the past few days. But how do you think you would fare against some of these cars? Because I personally think you would be riding a solid 5th place right now.
You know, the sprint cars are an excellent series. They're the best series, in my opinion. I know a lot of sprint car drivers.
You know a lot about the series.
I know a lot about the series, and some of the sprint car drivers we've got in this race today are the best in the game. Ty Williams is a personal favorite of mine. You know, these drivers that are out here, they're putting the best that they've got on the line every single day, and the cars are being pushed to the limits. And I gotta say, I know a lot about the limits of these cars. I've driven them myself. So, you know, a lot of respect to these drivers, and I hope to see a good, clean, fair race today.
I don't know how I want up that as we go green flag racing. It looks
Green
like we're
flag,
not.
green flag, green flag.
Well, nope, they're not going green flag. I just heard that we're not going green, but how do you want up that?
As an announcer?
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think I can right now.
Yeah, dude. Just jumping in our broadcast, saying legendary shit, and just leaving me speechless. God, how's it make you feel?
You know, my name is Donald J. Trump, and as the president, leaving people speechless is my job.
What? Hold on, what?
Like I said, speechless. That's the only word that describes me. That's all you've got. Just let's have a good race, okay?
Oh my God, that was great.
I was imitating my opponent, Joe Biden, in that scenario.
Donald J. Trump leaving people peaches. That's right.
As we go green flag racing with Stephen Perkins leading them in the turn one. Oh, that was great. Well, Nick, let's hear your opinion. Who do you think's going to win? You see what I see. You see where everybody's at. I think Bryce Shee just took that lead, but we got another caution, I believe. Who wrecked? I see the 12 car catching up. What happened to the 12 car?
It's getting a little sloppy.
It's getting, yeah, you know, recruitment races, unfortunately, they are a little rough. I see him spun. It looks like him and Dax Barentine. Wasn't that the 2 cars that just got into each other? They're... First off, here's what I want to know. How did they get so far behind? Like, For perspective, everybody in the chat who's wondering, like, they're lined up here. They're about to go green flag, kind of around where that yellow bar, the feature sign is, like where that is on track. They're about to go green. For anybody that's raced, like, why are you so far behind? It's just kind of a recipe for disaster. I don't know if, like, Jake was off pace and slow and Dax was sending it in or what, but...
I'm unsure.
I'm confused as well. I think they're getting ready to line back up.
1 to green right now. 1 to green.
Yeah, it looks like we're 1 to green. Looks like we're getting ready to go. Looks like I might need a new pen if this race keeps going. And we're going green flag racing this time. Oh my gosh, again! Again! They... Whoop.
I tell you what, I feel bad for the jonk out there on the track. He's been hit so many times tonight.
I just... It's that Lightning McQueen car. You can see it a mile away. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll do a slow motion view of this start and kind of see what happens here. I do feel bad for Drew Junkman as a whole tonight, but I don't know if that one's Ty's fault. It looks like from what I can see down here, Drew Junkman ends up getting into the back of Ty, and we'll let race control make that call. We won't. In our humble opinion, I don't know who they're going to call that on. It looks like they're getting the racers stopped on the track. Looks like they got potential red flag conditions. I know it's dollar beer night at the track. I guess they're cleaning up all the beer spills that must have happened in the turns. Probably getting all the beer cans out of the way.
What kind of beer do you think they're drinking out there right now?
Well,
What do you think the best selling beer is?
I'm thinking it's going to be like a Busch Light PBR, but at our local track at Bowler Raceway Park, dollar beer night, they serve Budweiser and Bud Light and Mick Ultra. And it's a damn good time. If nobody's ever been there, it's a very fast, small little track, Williamsburg, Ohio, Muller Raceway Park. You can meet me up there, and we will have a drink together and watch some modifieds race. But until then, we're going to watch some sprint cars race together as we go green flag. It's time by with Stephen Perkins leading the field.
Right shade close behind, taking that upper area, looking a little rocky.
And it's like you were talking, D. Oh my gosh! Steven's loose. They're loose in the back behind him. I see Drew Junkman's car getting spun, flipped back there. Man, I tell you what. I thought Bryce Shade was going to pass him on that outside, but it's been a heck of a caution fest we've had here today.
What's going on?
I don't know, but let's go ahead and take a view from what happened here from Drew's point of view. Alright, so I'd say from here on everything goes really bad. Let's see what we got. Looks like Ty Williams and the 5 car are going to get into each other, Dalton Bragg, which when Ty goes down, he ends up collecting Drew Junkman, which collected Jake Kirby behind him, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and play that back for everybody in real time so they can see it. I just wanted to commentate what happened. Unfortunately, not a lot of places to go for Drew and Jake behind him, unfortunately, with Ty and Dalton getting into each other. I tell you what, it's been a...
I think the flip over odds just went up.
Yeah,
over 15 odds.
Did he technically flip right there? Hold on.
It's pretty close.
We kind of flip here? That's a flip. That's a flip. That's a flip. Oh, no, he doesn't flip. He doesn't flip. Hold on. He does not flip. That does not count as a flip, folks. Don't even try to clip this for me later. It's not going to work. Somebody's going to try to do it. I know they will. Looks like we're 15 laps into this 35-lap feature. I don't know if fuel's going to end up being a factor. Before, I didn't think there was any chance, but with dirt cars, it does count fuel, usually up until the caution's thrown. So let's say you get 3/4 of a lap done, it'll take 3/4 of a lap of fuel. So it does get a little interesting sometimes with how this lines up. I'll tell you what, D. How do you think Bryce Shade is faded? Or I can't talk today. Maybe I'm faded. How do you think that he's fared so far out there today? He's holding second place right now.
been holding second place like a fat kid holds on to a honey bun. But
That's a tight
just
grip.
like a fat kid with greasy fingers, he just can't seem to open up that packaging, man.
Just really finish a job and get everything taken care of and get that first
Mm-hmm.
place finish. He's right there. Right there. I'll tell you another one that would be interesting. Looks like on my race control, I don't know if Ty Williams or the Drew Junkman's back out there. That would have been a real interesting interview between those two. I think those two cars, and I know the last few cautions, they didn't like directly hit each other, but I think those two cars have collectively touched probably 9 times tonight.
Did you talk about Jonkman and the Ty Williams beef that's been stewing, slow cooking?
Well, I don't know if we would consider it a beef necessarily, but if I didn't know any better, I would have thought they had one. Maybe there's something we don't know about slowly brewing between those two, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, maybe.
But I tell you what I do know about, and that's Bryce Sheed is going to take your lead on that outside line. On lap 17, we got a new leader. Bryce Sheed is going to lead the field going into turn 2 as Stephen Perkins tries to make that down inside line work. I don't know exact method behind that. I've seen Stephen dominating the outside this whole time, and then he just jumps to the inside. It's kind of an interesting strategy, don't you think?
We've only got 5 cars out here on the track right now.
It is a huge difference from what we had before.
This should flow by pretty quickly right here.
You would think so, and it should make some great racing as we got Matt Grimm who's taking the slider on 3 and 4 to take that second place spot, but Stephen Perkins is going to answer him right back coming into 1 and 2 as he gets into the outside wall. Matt Grimm's going to go under him as he takes second place right back.
Bryce Shade rocking a second lead on the entire squad here.
Not just a second, about a second and a half going into turn 1 right there. And you got Matt Grimm in second. Stephen Perkins is going to be holding third on that outside line, and Dalton Bragg is going to be holding fourth. Jake Kirby's in fifth right now. Like I said, I really don't know how he got a lap down. I feel like he's been a lap down this whole race, and I'm not really sure how that one happened.
I'm unsure. Stephen Perkins dropping into third. Matt Grimm taking second.
But Stephen Perkins, I think, is going to take it right back. Who's going to get it this time? I think Matt Grimm's going to lead that lap. Well, lead that lap for second. Ooh, they touch. Now, it looks like we finally got some spaced out racing, some spaced out driving. Looks like Bryce Sheed's going to hold that first place spot. He's got about a 3/4 of a second lead confidently over Matt Grimm. But Matt's starting to reel it in a little bit, I think, now that he's finally got some clean air. Steven, it looks like he's settled down in third place, about a second to a second and a quarter down. And then Dalton's hanging out about 2 seconds back, just waiting for somebody to goof up, it looks like. And Jake Kirby's going to be right behind him. Let's go ahead and take a cockpit view of Bryce real quick and kind of see what, Bryce, and kind of see what he's seeing real quick. We don't want to ignore our leader here. He's been doing a great job.
Oh.
It looks like as we view him, he hits the wall. Things are going to get real interesting, real shaky, really quickly. Matt Grimm's going to be about a half second, 3/10 of a second behind him coming out of 4. Bryce is out. He's back up. It looks like he just blinked for a second, so unfortunately it does that for the broadcast. Let's take a look at what Matt can see. He's got his hands full. It looks like that's Stephen Perkins that just threw a slider coming out of 2.
They're fighting for second and third right now. Look at this.
Correct, as well as you got Matt really trying to get up there for first place while keeping Stephen off him for second. I think at some point, if you're Matt or Stephen, you guys got to kind of... Oh, they touch. He's in the wall. What's going on? It looks like his car's done, and they're going to need a caution. Let's go ahead and kind of get a better view of what happened there. We were in the cockpit for that. So it looks like, from what I can see,
crash from Stephen Perkins tonight.
Looks like Stephen Perkins gets into the wall, and when he gets out of the wall and gets down, unfortunately, he gets down in the mat. Matt had nowhere to go, and he is unfortunately going to be the biggest loser on that aspect. Let's go ahead and take a look at Matt's view from that. I don't know when he got into the wall. It looked like it was probably sometime coming out of turn 2. Looks like he tries to throw a slider, go down. As he comes up from the slider, he gets into the wall and doesn't save it. So he throws a slider on Matt to hit the wall, and unfortunately ends up collecting them. It's kind of a bad ordeal all around.
I got this quick spin.
I mean, that's a pretty quick 360. And a quick save right after it, too, with the assist of the wall. I don't think Matt unfortunately Matt unfortunately did not get that lucky. But we'll go ahead and get back to our leaders and take a look at what happened, or what's going on, and when we're going back green.
Seems to be some big problems with the tires clipping into the walls on this track.
Well, a lot of what throws people off, and that's another reason we do it too, we do not reset our tracks. All of our tracks roll over. If you want my opinion, this is a very tacky track still. A lot of our tracks can get to about 70-80% track state or completely worn through darn near when features start or by the time they finish. You guys should have seen Lernerville after 100 laps. That's a whole nother conversation. But this is where we really get to see who can drive, especially late race, because you could be the fastest driver in the whole entire session, be the hot lap hero, and then not even be in the top 5 or top 10 in the feature just because you don't know how to drive the track when it's slicker. It's a different animal.
I've never seen a dirt track that's been ran through like that, but I bet you it is slick, and I bet you it's muddy and goopy.
Yeah,
I bet you it's fun to drive in.
We're blessed to be around tracks that hold water really well. So we've had a very blessed dirt track career. And from what little I've brought you to go see, like at Florence and stuff like that. But we don't care about Florence. We care about Port Royal here, as we got Bryce leading the field on the outside line coming into turn 2 as he takes him onto the back stretch. Looks like, oh, we got another crash in the back again. Oh my gosh, they're done for. They're dead.
He's dead.
They're dead. Oh,
my goodness.
Alright. So it looks like this is the Matt Grimm mobile. And the number 5, the Dalton Bragg on the outside. Let's see what happens. I don't know if Dalton comes down. Matt's coming up. I think it's one of those situations where Matt's coming up and Dalton here is coming down.
Right into the wall. A little speck of dirt there.
And they both go at the wall. Ooh.
Wow.
There goes a tire. We got another tricycle, folks. Oh, it's back. It just flew away and come back. Crazy how that works. I wish my tires could just come back like that, but unfortunately I can kick my tire and it turns.
You know, I blew like 6 tires in 1 year once.
That's it? Only 6?
Yep. On my Volkswagen.
That's very impressive, to say the least, to be honest with you.
The Cincinnati roads.
Well, them Cincinnati roads are very rough. I don't know if anybody has a Jeep or anything with a suspension kit you want to brag about, but bring it to Cincinnati and just drive on the street. If you are trying to brag about your suspension, we could really test her out for you. They don't fix potholes for shit. You got a normal car, you risk ripping your bumper off in downtown Cincinnati, unfortunately.
Absolutely, every day.
It's a tough life. But someone's got to do it.
There's a telephone pole right down the road by me that is literally split in half. Like imagine if you snapped like a match in half, you know. But it's being held together by rope, and it's holding up vital infrastructure for the internet.
You know what's
down
messed
here.
up? Me as a lineman, I mean, I work for Spectrum. I use lineman in the fairest of fair terms, but I see that so much. Like, people will just use a rope and use it as like a middle point, doing like a triangle tension point.
Oh, dude, it's not even like that.
We just assume that's what's going to hold everything up.
It's on some like tied up kinky stuff, like crazy crosshatch. Like, I don't know. It definitely don't look up the code. I'll tell you that right now. Drive by that thing all the time.
So I think what's happening here, looks like Bryce Sheed is still going to keep the commanding lead he's had so far. Looks like that's going to be Stephen Perkins in second place, I believe. And I think that was Matt Grimm, who just came around the pace car, I believe, to get a lap back from that incident. I'm not entirely sure. I just see him kind of speeding around, so We'll see kind of
Wonder what's
specifically what we're
going
dealing
on
with and go
here.
from here. It should
Only
be
4
either
laps to
3
go.
laps to go or 4 laps to go this time by. With my sim racing apps, for everybody wondering, when it says 1 to go, that's the white flag. It doesn't change to a white animation or nothing. We're working on that. But as of right now, that's how it says it.
Loving this race tonight. Loving being in the booth.
The booth is great. The racing's great. The recruitment races sometimes can really make you scratch your head, but unfortunately everybody needs a chance to prove what they can do. There's a lot of really good racers and a lot of really good drivers just trying to do everything they can to get a win and get invited into the Troy's Auto Detailing Williams Sealcoating 360 sprints. It's just a lot of good hard racing, and unfortunately you see a shit show like this every once in a while. You just gotta kind of take it on the chin, and you know, that's what we'll do. But these recruitment races are always a little rougher as we go 1 to green.
1 to green going into these 3rd and 4th turns here. Bryce Shade in the front, followed by Stephen Perkins, followed by Matt Grimm. Our top 3.
Looks like our only 3.
Only 3 left. It's
Well,
been
it
a
looks
wreck
like
fest
Jake
tonight,
Kirby's
folks.
coming behind. He's going to fill in for that 4th car, and you're going to see him in that 4th car tailing behind. I don't think there's a wing on that car.
No wing on the car. This might be his rags to riches moment.
Well, I don't think he's going to make it. My question is, do the leaders end up catching him? But with 3 laps to go, I don't think we're going to have it. We're going to have 2 laps to go this time by, and Bryce Sheed's going to go ahead and take that lead. I think he's only about a tenth, 2 seconds ahead, or 2 tenths ahead.
Perkins fighting for inside control. Very close, very close. 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go this time by. We got Bryce Sheed leading him into turn 1 and 2, holding that high line. Stephen Perkins is going back to what got him in first this whole entire time, to that high side. Is it going to be enough, or did he wait too long to do it? Here he comes on that outside line. Can he make it work? And he does! Stephen Perkins, did Bryce run out of fuel? Oh my gosh, I think he ran out of fuel. I think Stephen Perkins just took that at the end. Let's go ahead and watch that at the back.
He's gonna get beat by he got beat by the hatless car.
Oh, did he? Hold on.
He
Wait,
got beat by the hatless car.
hold on. Can we get a-
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, he does.
My goodness.
He ran out of fuel and got
Was that
beat.
Dalton Bragg?
No, that was Bryce Shade, our leader. Oh my gosh, let's watch that back real quick. Bryce Shade had a commanding lead.
Losing 3rd place.
Commanding lead. Oh my gosh, coming into turn 1, he's got it until he doesn't.
Oh my goodness, what a conclusion.
And you can see at the top of our field, the flag stand up there, you're going to
He's
see
gonna get
even
past.
Jake Kirby come around him. Here he comes.
Jake Kirby
Right here.
for 3rd place. My goodness.
Well, I think he's still 4th. Remember, he was a lap down. I'm not sure how they scored that one specifically.
Ah, my goodness.
Wow. Alrighty, we're going to take about a minute or 2 break real quick, and then we're going to interview the top 3. Everybody give us 1 second, and we'll go ahead and get that interview going. All right, everybody, we're just waiting in the Discord for a couple more minutes. If the top three are in this chat, you go ahead. You got a second to join in for interviews. If nobody joins after about 2 or 3 more minutes, me and D will go over post-race comments, and we'll go ahead and conclude. Alright, everybody, welcome back. Sorry for the wait. It looks like we're going to have our second and first place racers in here for tonight's interviews, and I'm going to start everything with our second place finisher, Matt Grimm. Matt, first off, I mean, you're already in 360 League. I believe you're already in the Pro Late Model League as well. Strong showing. I mean, if you want my opinion, and you can probably watch the broadcast and see it, your car took a beating tonight. How do you feel?
Yeah, it seems like every time I race anymore, I end up with like 15 destroyed cars. So I'm glad we're just on iRacing.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it before. We can't wait for these recruitment races to finally kind of end and do their thing, and we get back in the league racing again. I miss the nights where we had 4 to 5 cautions compared to what it was tonight. But the one thing I'll give it to you, you're fast and you're consistent. You got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks to everyone over at Horizon Sim Sports, 18 Designs, 469 Designs, M9 Racing Performance, Metcap Simtography, just everybody who helps out on the team. And
Perfect.
yeah, just it'd be nice to get to some good racing and have some fun. Me and Ty were having a real good battle there, and me and the guy who was leading till the last corner, he he was putting on a good battle there. He was blinking a little bit, but
Yeah, I
it was
felt
real good
horrible because
fun.
I called it out probably about 10 laps before that. I said, man, with all these cautions, the way it counts fuel, it's if you do 3/4 of a lap, it's not going to count the lap, but it's going to take your fuel. I knew someone was going to run out. I just didn't know who was. Were you short on fuel as well? Were you pretty much running on fumes?
I was worried about saving until that wreck where I ended up on pit road and everyone was still going around, and somehow I ended up 3 laps to the good. When I was going there for the longest time, I was actually like a lap short. So I don't know where I made it up, but I'm glad I did.
Hey, we're not going to argue. We'll let it happen. Other than that, great job tonight. Good finish. And we'll go ahead and bring up tonight's winner, Stephen Perkins. Stephen, start the finish. I mean, you were dominant for the most part. There was at one point where probably middle of the race, I kind of thought you were falling off. I didn't know if it was tires. I didn't know what it was, but in the end, you got it done. How's it feel to be back?
It feels pretty good. Yeah, started off the race already short on fuel. I didn't add enough, so I was pretty much in serve mode from from the get go. I knew that I was probably gonna get drove around because I was trying to save as much fuel as possible because I think I started the race when I was already a lap and a half down. Uh, but once I started coming back, that's kind of when I knew I wasn't going to run out. But the last lap, I thought I was going to run out where Bryce ended up running out, but I was that was pretty lucky. I should probably go buy a Powerball ticket or something.
Yeah, we were all screaming in that broadcast when that happened. I was confidently saying like all Bryce got to do is hit his marks, and he got it. And next thing you know, he slowed down about 40 mile an hour. So yeah, if you buy a Powerball ticket, let me know. I might have you buy me one too, with how lucky you are. D, you got anything you want to add on that?
I just y'all were so fast. What did who did your setups?
So pretty much I take the free SSR setups and I just tweak them to kind of just what I know from real life, and just hopefully it works. And tonight it just seemed like it worked. I was rocket ship on top. I mean, it helped that I didn't have as much fuel as probably everybody else did, but uh, yeah, just I pretty much just do this for fun. Lone wolf it. I don't have any team or anything, but uh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you came out on top tonight, Perkins.
Yeah, you did phenomenal. You got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
Uh, no, like I said, I pretty much lone wolf this thing, and I just want to apologize to Matt. Just trying hard to get past him, and just got into the wall a couple of times. Ended up wrecking him, so I just want to apologize for that. That's not how I like to race with everyone, so just want to apologize to him.
Great sportsmanship from the Lone Wolf tonight. Stephen Perkins, our winner of the Troy's Auto Detailing and Williams Sealcoating 360 Sprint recruitment race. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, they just got them out of here. All right, closing notes tonight. I mean, tell you what, D. I mean, as a whole, you take out about 15 of those cautions. It was a good race.
It was a good race. Hey, I like watching cars tumble. I like watching a good crash every now and then.
I mean, that is true. There is at one point we gotta, and I'll have to do it, find a way to do it. Probably not on stream. I'll probably figure out a way to do it off stream, and I'll get a video of it. Drew Junkman, total flips. What's our final prediction here? That we got it on stream.
It's 15 over under. That's where we draw the line.
Well, no, let's do it Price is Right rules, where like if you go over at all, even 0.1, you're wrong. So you got to be under. What are we thinking? I'm thinking in total flips from heat race to feature. I won't count practice or
23.
qualifying.
23.
Oh my God, I was going to say 16. 23.
23.
I mean, there is one caution alone. He has like 12.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll have to check it out. We'll have to get back with everybody and see what's going on. For everybody wondering what we got coming up next, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the Bender Designs UNP Modifieds. Same place, same track, 1 hour later time. Same way to get into this race if you'd like. You can go ahead and enter it as a free entry for our recruitment races. Our actual divisions they're racing for is an invitation-only league, so they got to run our recruitment races to join the league. And on Thursday, we're going to see our pro late model, our 3PG Speed Shop pro late model drivers out here at Port Royal again for their third recruitment race as well. We'll have the fourth one after that, I believe about 2 weeks from now at Lernerville Speedway. And then right after that commits week 1 of the season. I tell you what, D, you haven't been around with us for a season yet. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good season. We're giving away I believe it's over $3,000 total in prize payouts for all divisions for the season. It's going to be a fun one. I wish I could drive. I could use that money, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could definitely use $3,000.
And I'm just saying, like, if you could drive, it is 3 over 2,900, 3,000, 32. It's something around there in total payouts. Each league has around 1,000, a little over 1,000. I think the UMP mods is a $900 prize pool. It's just under 1,000. So we got a lot of really good racing coming up, and I'm real excited for when league starts. September, I
Very
believe.
excited as well.
It is going to be the week of September 24th with sprint cars starting at Eldora. The 25th will be the Bender Design UMPs at Eldora, and our series 3PG Speed Shop Pro Late Models at Eldora to kick off week 1 of our second official season, fourth season as a whole, but second season with all of our divisions fully running together. It's going to be a great season. I'm real excited. You got anything to add on that, D, before we jump off here for tonight?
Big thank you from everyone at 3PG. Thanks for watching, everybody.